Hey guys, welcome to question MM399 of the Maths Methods 4 to 5 study guide. So in this question we've got a continuous random variable x, which has this probability density function given by this function here. And we are asked to find the probability that x is less than 2. Awesome. So first things first is to recognize that whenever we deal with areas within continuous density functions like this, the probability is the area under that graph. Okay, so the probability that lies between 1 and 2, for example, is the area under the graph from x equals 1 to x equals 2, right? So that means that our probability that x is less than 2 is equal to the area from our lower bound, which is 1, up to 2, okay? So it should be everything less than 2, but because our lower bound is 1, it's from 1 to 2, right? Of 1/2 root x dx. And evaluating this is going to give us our probability that x is less than 2. Awesome. Now in continuous functions, it doesn't matter if it's less than or equal to. Either way is fine because it's continuous. So there's no, it's not discrete. Awesome. So from here, my first step, because we don't have our calculator, my first step would be to take this constant now just to make it easier. So we have half outside of 1 to 2 of root x dx. And then what we're going to do is change this root x into an easier form to integrate with. So root x is the same as x to the power of a half. So whenever you've got root x or something like that, or cubed root x, what you want to do is change it into index form so that it's a lot easier to integrate. Now, we can actually integrate it. So the process for this is we add 1 to the power, so we get x to the power of 3 on 2, and then divide by the new power, so divide by 3 on 2. This 2 can now come up the front here, so we get 2x to the power of 3 on 2 over 3 from 1 to 2. Awesome. Now, that pretty much gets us our first mark there. Now we can keep integrating this. And our next process is to sub in 2 and then minus sub in 1. So we get 1/2, 2 outside of 2 to the power of 3 on 2, on 3, minus 2 times 1 to the power of 3 on 2 over 3. Awesome. Now 2 to the power of 3 on 2, 2 cubed is 8, and then the square root of that is root 8, right? So root 8 over 3 minus 1 to the power of 3 on 2 is just 1, so we get 2 over 3 there. Awesome. So now we can actually simplify this a little bit more and get 2, so root 8 is the same as 2 root 2, right? So times 2 root 2 minus 2, and because these are both on top of 3, we can put a 3 on the bottom there. 2 times 2 root 2 is 4 root 2, then we have minus 2 over 3, and then subbing in our half, or multiplying in our half, we can divide both of these top ones by 2. So we get 2 root 2 minus 1 over 3. And this is the probability that x is less than 2. And that's our second mark. So that's it. That's our final mark, final mark for part A. Let's move on to part B. Now part B is another 2-mark question and tells us to find the value of k where probability of x is greater than or equal to k is equal to 1 on 6. Awesome. So what we're looking for, probability x is, actually I'll write it down here. Probability x is greater than or equal to k equals 1 on 6. Awesome. And we need to find k. Sweet. So similar process to our first part, but what we're doing this time is we know the probability and we're trying to find the lower bound of that area. Okay. So we know that the area or the probability is going to equal 1 on 6. And the way that we find that area or probability is by doing an integral, right? So we're saying greater than or equal to k, right? Which means that our lower bound is k and our upper bound is whatever our upper bound of our function is. So 2 to the power of 4 on 3 of 1/2 root x. Awesome. Now, as in the previous part, I'm going to take out this constant to the front. I'm going to end up with k 2 to the power of 4 on 3. And this root x is the same as x to the power of a half. So I'm just going to change that now. Awesome. Now, I'm going to get rid of this half before I even do anything. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2, which gives me 1 on 3 equals, and then we can integrate this. So the integral of x to the power of a half is 2x to the power of 3 on 2 over 3 from k to the 4 to the power of, 2 to the power of 4 on 3. Awesome. Now, we can actually now just sub in our integrals as we normally would. So we get our 2 times 2 to the power of 4 on 3 to the power of 3 on 2 over 3 minus 2 times k to the power of 3 on 2 over 3. And that is all equal to 1 on 3. Awesome. Cool. Probably have enough room here. Now I'm going to actually multiply both sides by 3 just to get rid of all this stuff going on here because we've got denominators of 3 all over the place, so we can actually just multiply it all by 3. Now, we have 2 times 2 to the power of 4 on 3 to the power of 3 on 2. We can multiply our indices together. So we get 4 on 3 times 3 on 2, which is 12 over 6, which is 2, right? So we get 2 to the power of 2 minus 2 times k to the power of 3 on 2. That still stays the same. Now what we get here is our 2 times 2 to the 2, which is 8. Take away 2k to the power of 3 on 2. And our purpose here is to solve for k, right? So we can move that to that side and move this to this side. So we get 2k, 3 on 2 equals 7. So then k to the 3 on 2 equals 7 on 2. To get k by itself, we do both sides to the power of 2 on 3. Okay? Because if we do both sides to the power of 2 on 3, this 3 on 2 and 2 on 3 multiply together to get 1, and we end up with k to the power of 1, or just k on one side. 2 on 3. And then k is equal to 7 on 2 to the power of 2 on 3. And that's it. So guys, our first mark comes here, and our second mark comes here at our final answer. So guys, that's it. K equals 7 on 2 to the power of 2 on 3. If you have any questions about any of this MM399, please hit me up in the comments below. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.